She raised 3 children, ran a household for 40 years, managed a career, a mortgage, a marriage, and more hard days than she could count. She survived things her children will never fully know about, and last Tuesday, her son called to remind her to take her medication, like she was 5 years old. Gloria is 71. She drives herself everywhere, manages her own finances, has opinions about politics, art, and exactly how long pasta should cook. She is, by any measure, completely fine. But something has been shifting in the last few years with her children. The phone calls that used to be conversations have started to feel like check-ins. The visits that used to be relaxed now involve her daughter quietly reorganizing her kitchen cabinets without asking. Her son researches her doctors before she sees them and emails her articles about things she should be eating. And when she pushes back, when she says, "I'm fine, I don't need that, I can handle it," they exchange a look. That look. The look that says, without a single word, "Should we be worried about her?" And Gloria, who has never in her life needed anyone to worry about her, doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. Here's what's actually happening, and why it happens in almost every family eventually. There's a phenomenon researchers call role reversal anxiety. It describes the moment, usually gradual, rarely announced, when adult children begin to unconsciously shift from seeing their parent as a caregiver to seeing them as someone who might one day need care. It doesn't require anything to actually be wrong. It just requires the children to get older. When people hit their 40s and 50s, they start thinking about mortality in a way they didn't before. Their own aging becomes visible. Their parents' aging becomes impossible to ignore. And love, which is what this almost always is, at its root, sometimes expresses itself as control, as hovering, as reorganizing kitchen cabinets without asking. Because doing something feels better than sitting with the fear of losing someone. The daughter reorganizing Gloria's kitchen isn't disrespecting her mother. She's trying to feel useful in the face of something she can't fix, which is time, which is aging, which is the quiet knowledge that her mother will not be here forever. Understanding that doesn't make it less frustrating, but it changes what it means. Because this is not just Gloria's story. Her children are navigating something genuinely hard too. They are watching their parent get older in a culture that gives almost no guidance on how to do that gracefully. How to care without smothering, how to help without taking over, how to love someone whose independence matters to them as much as their safety. They are making it up as they go, and they are getting it wrong sometimes. Not because they don't love their parent, because they do. The reason this dynamic rarely resolves on its own is that both sides are having a completely different conversation than the one they think they're having. Gloria thinks the conversation is about her independence. "I am capable. I do not need to be managed. Please treat me like an adult." Her daughter thinks the conversation is about safety and love. "I'm scared of losing you. I need to feel like I'm doing something. Please let me help." Neither of them is wrong, but because neither of them says the real thing, the surface conversation just keeps going in circles. Gloria pushes back on the medication reminders. Her daughter backs off, and then does it again 3 weeks later. And the distance between them quietly grows, not from lack of love, from lack of honest conversation. Gloria is not a woman who waits for things to fix themselves. So one evening, she called her daughter and said something she had never said before. Not, "Stop treating me like a child." Not, "I'm fine, I don't need your help." But this, "I want to talk about something that's been bothering me, and I want to hear what's been worrying you. Because I think we're both carrying something we haven't said out loud yet." Her daughter was quiet for a long moment, and then she said, "I'm scared, Mom. I don't know how to watch you get older and not try to do something about it." And Gloria, who had been so focused on her own frustration, felt something unexpected. She felt her daughter's fear. And she remembered that she had felt it too once, sitting by her own mother's bedside 30 years ago, wishing she could do something, wishing she could fix it. Understanding, for the first time, that her daughter's hovering wasn't about doubting her. It was about loving her in the only language her daughter currently knew. The first thing Gloria did differently was separate what her daughter was doing from why she was doing it. Every time her daughter overstepped, every medication reminder, every reorganized cabinet, Gloria reminded herself of one thing. This is fear, not disrespect. That one shift changed the temperature of every conversation they had. The second thing was specificity. She stopped saying, "Stop treating me like a child," which is a feeling, not something anyone can actually act on. And she started saying exactly what she needed. "I manage my own appointments. I will call you if I need help." A specific boundary gives someone something real to respect. A vague complaint just creates more silence. The third thing was the hardest. She made the first move. She didn't wait for her daughter to figure out how to bring it up. She already knew her daughter didn't know how. So she picked up the phone. And for the adult children, the three things that actually help are simpler than they sound. Ask before you act. Say the real thing, and trust what you can actually see in front of you. Gloria and her daughter meet for coffee every other Wednesday now. Not a check-in, a conversation. Gloria tells her about her week, her opinions, what she's reading, what's annoying her about the news. Her daughter mostly listens, and occasionally, when Gloria mentions something about her health or her routines, she asks one question. "Is there anything you need from me?" And Gloria either says yes or says no, and her daughter accepts the answer. It took a hard conversation to get there, and a daughter brave enough to say she was scared, and a mother wise enough to hear it as love. If this is your family right now, know that the distance you feel is almost never about love. It's almost always about fear. And fear, when it's finally named, has a way of bringing people back together. Leave a comment and tell us which side of this you're on right now. We read every single one.